My name is Mike. I was in Navy. I was a sonarman. I was hunting subs, but from the surface. I always loved the sea. My mother's father, my granddad, uh, just loved the sea, and it rubbed off on me. We'd always go down to Ocean City, New Jersey, and I'd stand on the beach with him and look at this big, beautiful sea. And there aren't a whole lot of ways to go to sea. And the most obvious one, I suppose, is the Navy. Unfortunately, it was my first watch at sea. And that first night in deep water, we had an accident, and it changed me. And so I knew that when I came home, it would be impossible to describe the things I'd seen. It wasn't hard for me to walk off the pier. I've never been homesick for the food or the tiny little rack that I slept in. If I'm homesick for the Navy at all, it's the sonar. It's my gear, my baby, which I kept purring like a kitten for all those years. And I missed that, and the identity of being a sonarman. I missed that a lot. I was proud to be a sonar technician, but I'm not one now. When veterans come home, myself included, there is it's culture shock. There's no other way to put it. You're outside looking in at the country that you're trying to protect. But coming back was difficult. I promised my nephew, little nephew, that I would come home after my time, after my one tour. And a promise is a promise, and I came home. And then I had a hard time reconnecting and finding work, and I didn't know it, but I had suffered some emotional injury in the military, and I came home and sat in my mother's basement for 4 years, unemployed. I first started thinking about getting help, which led to the Cohen Clinic, because I'd gotten married. So I wasn't on my own anymore. I'm a fixer. I was a technician. I fixed things. I worked for Apple Computers. Fixed things. Converted a water plant into a power plant for the National Science Foundation in Antarctica. I fixed things. So I wanted to fix myself. I knew there was something wrong. But with my wife, all of a sudden, I had to man up and face the fact that that I needed to give her the best life that I could. And walking around with a tight spring wound up in my chest all the time, having a short fuse all the time, not sleeping, waking up with nightmares. That's not conducive to a happy life. And it was her, not me, who was a mirror to me. And she said, I knew you in high school, and this is not who you are. And she asked me if I would consider Cohen. So she knew about Cohen because, fortunately for me, my wife happens to work at the institution where the clinic is. And the moment she told me about it, I said yes. What's wonderful about Cohen, and I can't stress this enough to anybody who's listening to me, is that the therapy is goal-oriented, which is exactly what somebody in the military needs. One of the reasons I didn't reach out for assistance was because I believed in my heart they could not help. I figured that there was no way to connect with somebody about this, but it turns out that the symptoms are far more important than the event. The event was just a way to get hurt. It's the hurt that matters. So when I was at Cohen, they quickly diagnosed me with combat-related PTSD because I have all the same symptoms of some. And guess what? They deal with combat veterans all the time. I wasn't bringing anything new. I wasn't bringing an experience they couldn't help me with because it was too alien. It was right in their wheelhouse. And all these years, I've been convincing myself it was in no one's wheelhouse, that only a handful of people in the world could ever imagine what I went through. I was hit by a moving building that tried to flip me upside down in the dark. I was wrong. It's accessible. Whatever complicated story you had, however much you feel that you cannot explain it, it's the symptoms that matter, because that's what we need to fix. We can't undo what we lived, but we can live better now. Cohen taught me that I was making myself angry over and over every day. I wouldn't let it go because that's a safer place to be. But being angry all the time hurts your relationships. It's just bad. It hurts everything. So the Cohen Clinic helped me break a vicious cycle. You can't fix everything yourself. I don't believe anybody's going to go through therapy at Cohen and not feel better on the other end.